The next mainline Pokemon game, Winds and Waves, looks like it's going to be set in a part of the Pokemon universe that we've never seen before. And so today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about all of the legendary Pokemon we might see in this new game. We've got a lot to cover, including the box art legendary Pokemon, the third legendary mythical Pokemon, and at the end of the podcast, we even discuss pseudo-legendary Pokemon. If you're new, welcome. And as always, this is just the start of the conversation. Please leave your comments. We want to hear your ideas in the comments below. Subscribe, and let's get into it. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. My name is Dusty Go-Goat, and today I'm joined by Hoops and Hip Hop.
Hello.
And Soul Silver Art.
What's up?
This is spiritually, I know I'm not supposed to say this, but this is spiritually part 2 of the episode that we did last week, talking about every single Pokemon that we could see, evolutions, convergent forms, etc., regional forms that we could see in Winds and Waves. We wanted to continue this conversation by discussing legendary Pokemon, right? Mythical Pokemon, all the sub-legends that we might see, pseudo-legendary Pokemon.
I'm still stuck on like the common theory, but like there's more depth to it now these days.
What's the common theory?
That probably because it's Indonesia based or like around that area of the world, that it would be one of them is based on Garuda, which is very much there's even a bird. It's like the national bird of Indonesia, and they, it's a deity. And then the other one is based on a Naga, which is kind of a deity as well, but there's multiple Naga, and they are, it's like a serpent. So that whole concept, even when it had leaked before Winds and Waves, was revealed, I was like, this is what they are. It's like way before, because it just makes so much sense, because Garuda is very much tied to, the sky and elemental winds and stuff like that. And then Naga are very often found in the water, and it all ties together very well. And we can go even deeper in on that.
Sure.
But that to me is very likely, but the problem is it's so obvious that it makes me feel like they won't do it. That's the only thing that with this theory that makes me a little weary. So
That statement that we've got on screen right now is also really important, because it gives the description of them being an old man and an old woman, which I think we can more or less kind of expect that to stay consistent, because obviously, like,
it's vague.
The games themselves have stayed consistent, like being Winds and Waves and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that is definitely something we could see. And if it does end up being like a Garuda Naga situation, I almost feel like I can imagine that, because I feel like the Garuda in this situation would be the old man, and I feel like I can see that, and then the Naga would be the old woman, which I can see.
Right.
So of all of the different ideas, I feel like this definitely fits the best. I actually just watched Loxton did a video on this whole subject a couple days ago that I watched, and he makes a pretty compelling case for it. So I do feel like this is as likely as anything, basically. But like, to your point, Soul, they definitely like to subvert expectations. They could do something different just because, like, they don't want it to be expected. And honestly, like, of all the recent generations, I can't really remember a time where, like, other than maybe Sword and Shield, because we like saw the wolves on the logos of the games.
Yeah.
I don't remember a time where it was like we were this confident in what the legendaries would be. Usually it's just like we have no idea.
Yeah.
So
even the wolves though. Even the wolves, we were like, are those really the legendaries, or are they just like a artistic piece of the logo?
Yeah, okay.
One thing, another thing along with that, again, to shout out Loxton, he mentioned in his video about, like, past couple generations, we've had like matching legendaries. So we had 2 wolves, we had 2 lizards. So we might be due for another, like, contrasting legendary, like Solgaleo Lunala,
for sure,
or like Xerneas Yveltal. So that could play a factor too, because Yeah,
That's true. I do tend to like that. And yeah, I think the Garuda and the Naga, I think visually, I think it is easy for me to imagine like those as a good pick for the inspiration for like new legendary creatures. Yeah,
They
I didn't,
represent winds and waves really well,
yeah.
like visually.
And you've got this like, and they both can be, while different, they both can maybe not be so not be so drastically different as like Lunala and Solgaleo, like a lion and a bat, but because you have this like humanoid bird, soaring in the sky, that could also have dragon elements in the same way that like a naga, like it's a serpent of the sea, can have dragon elements. I could see these things maybe having some crossover. And I think I also kind of wanted to look at the actual, I haven't thought about this, but the actual logos, obviously they're depicting this windy, breeze, right? You can see like the iconography, right? It looks like, what is it?
Mr. Windy Chew to you.
Sure.
It's Mr.
Like,
Windy Chew.
there are some patterns behind the Winds and Waves logos that just look like bubbles, waves, and like maybe like a wind pattern. But other, past box arts or I guess like game logos have actually looked like the legendary Pokemon that they're associated with. X and Y does have like the X and the Y. They are in a font that looks kind of like, not literally, but like it kind of invokes what Xerneas and Yveltal kind of look like. Same thing with Solgaleo and Lunala. It's these two symbols that do show up in the video game. Yeah, like Lunala is the shape, or sorry, the logo, or what would you call it? Like the icon that's in the Pokemon Moon logo. It does look like Lunala. Same thing with Solgaleo. It looks like its mane. I'm just kind of looking at this for the first time. You get Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah, I hadn't realized this either.
Tail. The sword and the shield. It's not so literal, but it is. It's right. You get the wolf with the sword and the shield. So if we're gonna look at the logos for Winds and Waves,
I'm Team Winds then.
Instantly. Team Winds is like it's like spiky, it's jagged,
green.
And I guess what this could look like is maybe the wing of the what is it, the Garuda? If the Garuda is supposed to be this like humanoid bird eagle type thing, I think the shape on this Winds logo could maybe look like a wing, and you can kind of see that the way it kind of curls up, which is cool. And then the waves, I guess it's like there's bubbles up at the top, and then it gets like there's a gradient color. It gets darker at the bottom. A little bit like softer lines. And can I be honest with you guys? We got to wait until 2027 to get our hands on Winds and Waves. But in the meantime, I've been collecting a lot of Pokemon cards. This episode is brought to you by our friends, Awesome CCG. It's my local card shop, and they want to give Hidden Power listeners 5% off all regularly marked products. And we're always doing timelines for the upcoming Pokemon games, but I got to be honest, the TCG roadmap right now is just as exciting. The Zygarde themed set, Perfect Order, is out right now. I actually pulled this Mega Skarmory EX and 3 Qianpao cards. But the next big English set is Chaos Rising. This set dropped on May 22nd. It's available right now and has a ton of awesome chase cards like Mega Greninja and Mega Floette. Both of these are brand new Pokemon, and it's so cool to get new art of these Pokemon in a physical format that you can actually hold in your hands and feel like an actual Pokemon master. And the next English set is Pitch Black, which releases July 17th. And this is going to have to do with Mega Darkrai. But if you don't want to wait until July, guess what? The Japanese set, Abyss Eye, also released on May 22nd, and you can get all those same cards that are going to be featured in Pitch Black 2 months early. This is an illustration rare Metang card. Never thought I'd be saying Metang is one of the coolest, but this is a Japanese card, and it's just as beautiful as any English set. And later in the year, there's actually been rumors of a new trademark, Storm Emeralda, and this is probably going to feature Mega Dimension Pokemon, including Mega Rayquaza, Mega Groudon, Mega Kyogre. These cards are going to be so sick. And of course, we're also going to be getting the 30th anniversary celebration set. Every single one of these sets are going to be available at Awesome CCG in store or online, and they want to hook you up. Hidden Power listeners get 5% off all regularly marked products when you use the code Hidden Power at checkout. We have links in the description. Go support them. These people are real Pokemon fans and they support the podcast. Pokemon cards are for everyone, and Awesome CCG makes it so easy to pick up some products and start opening cards. A huge thanks to Awesome CCG for sponsoring today's episode.
It is actually really interesting that they're two different kind of shapes on both of these. So like the top of the waves is very water, like bubbly, but then the bottom of the waves is like not exactly a wave, but it's not soft either. It's like kind of sharp at the ends. Like a normal piece of water doesn't look like that, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're drawing water, you would draw it only like the part at the top, and then
you would draw it like on screen right now on the Winds and Waves official website. At the bottom of this like video, you can literally see like the top of a wave like crashing down. Is like what you're talking about.
But how it's split is kind of weird. I don't know. It's just weird. It looks like it's part of. To me, it's very stylistic. So it's like, yeah, this could be something. Maybe not an exact piece of the legendary, but like something that what's the right word, like relates to it or makes you think of it visually. And the same for the Winds logo.
Like if it is a Naga, if it is this like serpent, I think it could either be like a fin, it could be like you know, you think about like a Pokemon like another fish Pokemon like Basculegion, where it has like its tail, it kind of becomes elemental. We could see something like that. And I think that what the gradient is kind of doing, I guess we might see that the colors in each of these logos are going to be present in the legendary Pokemon. So you would have the Waves Legend being like this pink, purple, and blue. And the gradient, I think, is also showcasing like underwater. It's darker, it's deeper, and then as you come up to the surface, you're going to get like different colors of light because of the sun. And then it also turns into bubbles. Like some of this is just like technical, like they're they could have been chosen because it just looks nice and represents waves, but you even seen it in Winds. It's like this dark green to this like mint green, and they do look different.
The white of Winds too, it's like a very, very light green. I will say one more thing about this. We are obviously reading into it very hard to like
but I think we should
to try to figure out something. I do too, after what we just established, you know, like with these other logos. Like I hadn't even realized it. Obviously in the older games it's not as present, but like from X and Y probably on, even I mean even Black and White a little bit, but X and Y on, they have hinted at the legendaries a bit in each
for
one.
over a decade, right? Like 10 different games have hinted. The mainline generation games have hinted, or the logos have corresponded with the box art legend. So I think it is 100% worth looking into.
Right. I just want to say last thing about it, I mean, for now, is that the colors almost give me like what their types could be, or like even the shapes. Like the Winds
flying in water.
It could be some like almost fire related, like the top of the Winds where it's really light. It gives me a little fire vibe. But then the Waves one, purple is so not related to water. Like so I don't know, like even poison looking to me, which would go well with a Naga serpent. Also the S on Winds, like the different fonts on them, like the Winds, like little curvy things that they have at the ends of each letter or the tops, you know. The S looks like a tail almost. It's interesting font. Or type, whatever you want to call it.
What do you think, Hoops? I think this is totally worth looking into.
I didn't really consider that before, but with that in mind, I could definitely see the Winds logo as like kind of like a wing. Like it looks kind of like feathery. It's got like the sort of like different prongs to it that a wing does. The Waves legendary, it's kind of very much a similar shape, but one thing I really feel with the Waves legendary is that if we assume it is a Naga, like waves and like serpents, like you can make a wave shape out of a certain serpent Pokemon. And so I feel like that's absolutely what that would do if that actually happens. With the Winds legendary, it might be a little more abstract, because if it's like this like bird humanoid type thing, you can't really like form its body into like wings the way you could like a snake, you know. But it might come in the form of like its wings might
Its
be
wings,
like
yeah.
its wings might be like shaped like a W, like you know, like for winds or something like that. It also might not be. It's probably not going to be that on the nose.
Right.
And it's also interesting that you bring up that S in the Winds logo, because we're talking about the Garuda for Winds, but that S is like a snake, like full stop. Like it's very kind of
We also have to talk about, like, obviously that's what I've been stuck on, but I think that there's definitely other options. It can be anything. It can be like any animals from anywhere, really, but from that region, if we want to like try to guess something, you know, you could pick anything.
What do you think?
But no, but even
just
besides
like in general, just in general,
just in general. But even besides that, we have to consider. I know Hoops. I think you said this last time, but I still am really like sus about Mr. Windy Chew and Mrs. Wavy Chew, Miss whatever. They to me, if
put
they
some respect on the name, please, for the love of God.
To me, Naga are serpents that transform into things, into humans, into other animals, other creatures. So, I mean, this is your artwork here that we have on screen, I'm pretty sure, and there's a non-zero chance that they're both Naga, that they're both serpents that transform into Pikachu.
Yes, I could see that. And on that whole topic, because I've mentioned before, I think I mentioned it last week, that I do not like the idea of those.
I mean, I don't like the idea either. I hate it.
I think it's really corny and just like stupid.
Say it again. What's stupid and corny?
The idea that Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew are actually the Legendaries.
Oh, okay.
Like, I do not want that to happen.
But
okay,
I want to defend it. But okay.
Yeah, I'll finish my point.
Please.
I do feel like there's a non-zero chance that it will happen, and if it does, the way I would want it to happen is that they don't necessarily transform into the Pikachu, but like the Pikachu is just like a projection, like it's an illusion.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of the game, we follow it around because it's our guide or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just like disappears, and then like these legendaries like come out of the water, they come out of the clouds or whatever, and they're like this beast. But I don't want them.
It's not
physically
about
like literally transforming.
When Mr. Windy Chew and Mr. Wavy Chew are not battle forms, they are characters that. Like, again, this is, I didn't watch Loxton's video, but I feel like we were talking about this since like day one.
Yeah.
During like
I haven't watched it either.
Yeah. Well, when we were streaming like the reveal of the trailer, like we streamed all week, and I feel like this was the prevailing theory. And like, Mr. Wavy Chew and Mr. Windy Chew, Mr. Windy Chew and Mr. Wavy Chew, Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew are not going to be battle forms. That's not what this is. What it is like these are characters that are bestowed by the legendary, or the legendary. It's a way for the legendary Pokemon to like live among men, right? So it's like a god living among men, right? It's like they have it's like a god, you know, hiding so they can, I don't know, I think
that's very typical.
What I keep going back to is like every time, and I think this is because it was like February when this revealed, but like when we watch Christmas movies at Christmas, they always shoehorn a secret person who happens to be, it's like, oh, that's Santa Claus this whole time. Good thing we were nice to that person, because he's weird, but he was Santa Claus. Like and that's what this is. That it's just, we're going to be familiar. I think about it like a game, and I'm like, okay, Game Freak likes this concept of like warming you up to the legendary throughout your adventure, and then revealing it to you at the end that, okay, they are legendary. And in Scarlet and Violet, we're best, like, it was like our shoulder Pokemon was Koraidon. It was just always with us. It was a utility vehicle. And I think a different way to do that, and to make it separate from Nebby, because they also did it with Nebby, right? It's like, have it be it's kind of like the Rotom decks. Just have it like these we need a shorthand for these Pikachu.
I just say Windy Chew and Wavy Chew, but then we get
we gotta put some respect on their name.
Corrected every time.
Yes,
The
It's
Mr. and Mrs. I don't know, Miss.
Yeah, but they're not even
just
married.
Miss.
That's the thing. They have different last
Yeah,
names.
she's just
like,
Miss.
Like they're not even married. Like it's not Mr. and Mrs. Windy Chew. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe
Another
they'll
thing
get
to
married. Are we shipping them? Is Hybrid gonna make a shipping video about it?
Oh, it's coming. Yeah,
That's a free idea, buddy. Yeah,
It's
Probably
coming.
thought about it.
Something else to consider with this idea that makes it really interesting, though, is the whole idea of the seed Pokemon from the leaks.
Mm-hmm.
Because the seed Pokemon is supposed to be this like small little like Cosmog type of thing that we carry around. And to me, that conflicts with these two being the legendaries, because like if the seed Pokemon becomes the legendary, then I don't feel like Windy Chew and Wavy Chew could be the legendaries, because it's like the legendary is right here, like on my shoulder, like it's right here, like you can't be like here and here. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to watch, because like to me that would really make it messy if both of those were present. And if they're not both present, maybe that means they've changed up the legendary a little bit, and we maybe won't have that.
So what was the description of the seed Pokemon? So in the Terra leak, there was a rumor, or there was a concept of an idea for Gen 10 that there was going to be this quote unquote seed Pokemon. And I guess I'm forgetting
basically
what it was supposed to do, that it changes with you upon your adventure and reflects your decisions.
Yeah. Basically you were supposed to get it like at the beginning of the game. And it's supposed to be, again, like a Cosmog type situation or a Koraidon-Miraidon situation. Yeah. And then, like, it would evolve, but it would evolve differently for each player depending on how they played the game. So it was kind of like procedurally generated.
But also related to what we're talking about, though, is I'm pretty sure you'd have to pull it up, but there is a line about how if you have the seed Pokemon and you evolved it, it like gives you access to the legendaries, or like the legendaries accept you or something like that if you like take good care of the seed Pokemon. So it is tied to the legendaries in some way. But I forget exactly.
I feel like that is right. And that actually makes it even more interesting, because it's like if they're separate and this is just like this like it's like this like bag of flour you're supposed to like take care of, you know, like it's like in school.
It's like this is your baby. Yeah.
That makes it interesting, because it's like, okay, in that scenario, Windy Chew and Wavy Chew could be the legendaries, but then it's like, what is the role of the seed Pokemon? Like, is he just supposed to be something we take care of, or like is he connected to the legendaries in some way? Is he like I feel like the seed Pokemon honestly could almost be like a third legendary. Because if this is the scenario that we're working with,
they are a trio.
The Wind and Wave legendary are two, and then the seed legendary is the third member, but it's like a different third member where it's like it's basically like a baby Pokemon, but it's a third legendary member. And that really goes in with a lot of the themes we're hearing about for this game, because we've heard that like the player character is going to have a baby like brother or something, and it's supposed to symbolize like the next generation and all that stuff. And this would go right in with that.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be
I have
really
to do
cool.
I have to do the disclaimer and say that all of this information is from the first draft of Pokemon Winds and Waves back in 2021. So like, you know, the amount of stuff that could change story wise is crazy. You know, like just think about a TV show like where they revise things. So you know, things could change here. But from what we know.
Yeah, as a concept though, I love that. Like I love the third member being like this little young baby, and the other two being like old wise. Like
I mean, I have so much to say. I know you want to read this.
No. I have an idea. I guess like the vision that I just got was like, okay, we're playing Winds and Waves, right? We get a seed Pokemon, Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew. I'm trying. Lumi, the ghost of Lumi. I'm trying. We see these characters, we interact with them. I guess I'm imagining that these Pikachu, right? If a legendary Pokemon is within them, they are judging you. They become the barometer of like, they have like, they're trying to, I feel like, isn't there's a theme, right? Of like, preserving nature and living in harmony with nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe these characters could work as like barometers and like for like what is ethical in your decision making about keeping that balance.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of the box legends are within these Pikachu, the seed Pokemon we might have, and that seed Pokemon, again, I'm thinking about it like as a game, could continue to reflect our choices. And sure, maybe it has all these different variants, but essentially it still has like one true form evolution. But like, I imagine that the description of the seed Pokemon reflecting how you've raised it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is a cool concept, and that's what we're seeing in the Terra League. But like, I guess if we're going to simplify it, even if it had like 3 different evolutions, let's say, I kind of like the idea that like, as we play through our game, no matter what our choices are, the seed Pokemon will eventually evolve into this third legend that we're talking about. And inherently, no matter what your choices are, you're still going to end up having a showdown against not Mr. Windy Chew or Miss Wavy Chew, but the legend Pokemon, the box legend that is within them. They reveal themselves that, no, this is my true form now. And we have to do a showdown. And I guess I kind of like the idea of like, if there's going to be a subversion or if they're going to like change it up in Gen 10, that the partner Pokemon is not one of the box art legends, right? But instead, there's still a reveal because it's the third legend that it's like teaming up with Rayquaza the whole time, or teaming up with Mewtwo, or teaming up with, you know what I'm saying? Like teaming up with Arceus. I mean, we're kind of starting to see that, teaming up with Zygarde. We saw that in these Legends games. So that is kind of fun to me. And then I guess I wanted to just quickly say, and just deflate all of this, the seed Pokemon could be one of these Pikachu, in the fact that like they have costumes and their outfits can change infinitely, reflecting what kind of choices.
Could you
like maybe when you do something, you get a new customization option, and that is how it evolves, right? Like,
could you imagine the seed Pokemon as Pikachu? Oh my gosh, no, please.
But I'm just saying, like, because I think, as you said, Soul, if this is the first draft of an idea, the idea is going to be big. No one has an idea, and they're like, yeah, what if it's horrible in a gross version of what it could be? No one's like, oh, that's amazing. What if we had a pencil, but it also had a different color? You're like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not, dream bigger, please.
Colored
pencils. Yeah, no, I don't even know where I was. I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't even know what a good example of that is. It's like, if you're going to think of an idea, it's going to be like a crazy idea. Start big and then it gets whittled down.
Yeah. If the idea was to make these two kind of like the seed Pokemon that we're reading about, I feel like the idea would have to like change, because like to your point, the changes that it gets could just be like its clothes or whatever. But to me, if it's like the point is like evolution, it would feel kind of weird with a Pikachu, because like we know the Pikachu evolves into Raichu. So if like we're supposed to evolve it and grow it,
or we think,
I don't know, like to me that would feel not like, that wouldn't quite feel natural.
I don't think that.
I know
that's for sure.
So I feel like I mean, I think maybe there could be some changing going on here. But what another way that I think they could be used decently well is if they were kind of like a crow or something, for like, in like various characters and like media will have like birds that like go and fly out and watch over things. If they were like that, and they were like recruited by the Legendary or something to just like watch us, that could be kind of neat.
I literally was going to say the same exact thing. So I have a few thoughts on these guys. Like, they could be emissaries, is I think maybe the word you're looking for the Legendaries. So like, they're not actually the Legendaries, but they're sent out from the Legendaries to judge or watch what you're doing with the seed Pokemon, or like guide you. You know what I mean? Right. That's the other option I was thinking of is, they could be the Legendaries. The way I see it is, they could be the Legendaries, but not know that they are the Legendaries. Like, and towards the end, something happens.
Oh my God. Talk about a life crisis.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, with the seed Pokemon, might like awaken them and they like completely transform into something else. So it's interesting. Would they have the transform ability? Like, would they be Ditto?
No,
Would they be able to
this
transform?
is getting at it. No.
And these are just all the thoughts that just came to me while we were
For
like
sure.
literally talking about this.
Like I imagine it's like, I think these forms are going to be Pokemon that are like, it's like a Eternamax Eternatus, or it's like, you know, it's like, well, no, Ultra Necrozma you can get. I'm thinking about like the Lusamine fusion with Nihilego, right? Like those are specific to the game, but you're not capturing them. I don't think you would capture
like
this form.
skins that you will eventually get.
Yeah,
down the road. But yeah,
I think what's gonna like I just see it so clearly. At some point in the game, this Pikachu, it's like walking away towards the sunset, looks back at you, and then a light shines, and then it evaporates, and then it reveals itself to be this like giant serpent, and you're like, and it was like, I was this the whole time, and you're like, what? That's insane.
It's probably something like that. To be honest, because we also have, talking about these leaks, another thing that really helps back it up is there's supposed to be like a grandpa legendary and a grandma legendary, like, you know, like there's supposed to be like a version exclusive where you know the Winds legendary is like an older man type.
This is coming from the Terra League as well,
right? And then the Waves legendary is like a older woman type. And what do we have here? We have these two Pikachu that are kind of being that already. So like that's what really makes me think that this is them in some way or another. Whether it's like they just hired these Pikachu to represent them or that they actually are them.
I think that is true. It's like, if they were not, like, they didn't need to be Mr. and Mrs. They don't like, but if the gender is a pretty big part of their, like, of the Legendaries design, which again is being teased or whatever, was conceptualized from the Terra League, like, and we know about it from the Terra League. Like, maybe the gender aspect of this, right? An elder guardian figure residing on an blah blah blah.
I don't think they mentioned the gender here, but it is mentioned.
Yeah, like maybe that is not so interpretive, and it is a little bit more obvious what the you know, what those genders are going to be.
I feel like we could definitely also get a twist, though.
You know, before we continue, I do want to take a minute to thank all of our sponsors, you guys, the listeners, our Patreon and YouTube channel member supporters. This show would not be possible without your support, but I got to give a shout out to all of the names right here. And we wanted to do something a little funny. You know, some of our most popular content are our tier lists. So we said, you know what, it'd be kind of cool to see all of these beautiful names and faces. Actually, there's no faces, but to see all these names, to see all these names on this on this popular format. I thought this was fun to make. But yeah, at our mythical tier, we've got a ton of lovely people: Coronet Highlander, SEH Art Gold, Louis Gervais. I think it's Lewis. We've had this conversation. It's Lewis. I think it's Louis Gervais.
Let us know.
Lumi knew.
Lumi always said Louis. Louis said.
Did he say Louis?
Yeah, he said Louis Gervais.
All right. Well, maybe it's Lewis. Now I'm second guessing it. Louis Gervais, Chief Keith. We got Father Dagda over on Patreon. Yeah, this Patreon and YouTube. NMT Arts, Nathan Shorter, Jen Renegade. We got the Real Pokegod. We got Ball Guy, Steven 3338. We got Normal Guy as well. Floppy Disk Repairman. That's a new name. Shout out to you.
I love it.
I know. And we got Zon 108 and Ryan. Thank you guys for supporting at the mythical tier. And we also have 3 special names. I guess honestly only 2 names up at the game. People who are supporting at the Game Freak Inc. tier. This is at our highest tier for ultimate bragging rights, executive producer credits. We've got Bramtastic, the OG, literally has been supporting us for years, as well as another OG, Young Smokey. And I got to say his name one more time because this man's been supporting us equally on YouTube and Patreon. Young Smokey. Young Smokey and Young Smokey. Thank you guys for all of the support. I don't know. I'm speechless. It means a lot. We love you guys. We appreciate it. If you want to get in on this and be part of the next Hidden Power Podcast episode, links are in the description to join on Patreon or YouTube. Thank you. Back to the episode.
Because this kind of reminds me of when we got the reveal of the teal mask and they revealed the loyal three,
Yeah.
they revealed them as heroes, and they revealed Ogrepon as like this mischievous ogre, and it turned out to be the opposite. Like it was flipped, and that was something that like I feel like in retrospect I should have expected, but I did not expect. Like I was just like so focused on how ugly these guys are that I didn't even like notice, and like that was kind of a twist that just was unexpected, and so I feel like if they're putting these guys out like with the reveal of the game, they're obviously kind of implying there's more to them. But it's like if they were actually the legendaries, and like that was kind of the twist of the game is that these Pikachu were legendaries, would they really like reveal them like so soon and like before we even actually see the legendaries and like sort of tease that something's going on? It feels like if that was the big like plot point of the game, that you wouldn't want to draw so much attention to it.
I agree with you, but I think we definitely have to think about Omori and like how he has led the past 3 generations of Pokemon, like Sun and Moon.
Is this something he does?
No, I mean just
stuff ahead of time.
If you just think about like his storytelling, because I assume that most of these things, because they all feel very similar, like each game's stories have like similar what's the right word, like not even story beats, but like a similar like skeleton in a way.
Okay.
Where like Rose, you know from the first moment that Rose is like gonna be the bad guy of Gen 8. It's like, there's things like that he does that make me think, it's for kids. A lot of times I think like we have to always take into account that the stories sometimes are a little more obvious than what we're thinking for the children. But
I feel like
my niece like, absolutely
even if it's like even if this is like more or less what happens, I feel like there's going to be more to it, because to my point again, there was the twist with the whole teal mask thing, and then like with Scarlet and Violet, for instance, that's obviously another recent game that he directed. The twist with like the professor being dead and all that stuff, that was like insane. That was crazy. And that was like actually like it came out afterwards that was like a really like personal story for him, because he like based it on his like parents or something. And so I feel kind of like coming off of that I don't know, I don't expect this to just be like cut and dry and like here's these guys, they look like this, so that's what's going to happen. Like even if it does happen, I feel like there'll be some like curveball that we're not expecting.
Right. I agree with that for sure.
That we'll just like we'll hopefully make it worthwhile.
A twist that we could see is kind of what came to mind for me, which is like maybe we team up with the third legend. Again, if the seed is so important and it's not these two, then like what would it be? But
it's not necessarily, the seed is not necessarily the third legendary either.
No, it's not.
It's weird, but there could be 4 of them. Like the seed to me is more akin to like Cosmog.
But Cosmog was the legendary,
right? So in a way, but it's its own Pokemon. It's still,
But like, and there was also the twist that it evolved into the other 2 legendaries, which again, that was another thing that I didn't catch the leaks at the time, so I was not expecting that. That was pretty cool. So I feel I'm hopeful. I mean, I just want, if this is kind of the direction they're going, that they do it in a cool way, because I feel like this is something that could just like crash and burn really hard. And I don't want it to crash and burn. I want it to be cool. And I feel like obviously we've talked about it before. Everything we're seeing from these games suggests that like they've got their crap together. Like the games, the graphics look great. Like it looks way better. Even this is something that I noticed that maybe other people won't notice that don't look at like the artwork as much. But when I was looking at like the artwork specifically of the player characters, I was like super impressed by how clean and detailed and like professional it looked. Like it looked significantly better than like the mega artwork that we got from ZA,
Right.
for
Oh,
instance.
sure.
Like they looked really polished and just like well done, and that's something I look at a lot doing what I do. So I was like, these look really, really like well like drawn and put together. So to me,
Yeah.
I'm getting all these like vibes that like there's another level of like polish and importance with Winds and Waves that they are like intentionally giving it, as opposed to it just being another game.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope would be that if that is the vibe, that they don't muck it up with some weird Pikachu story.
It would just be the story in the end, though, too. Like,
No, but-
obviously, it's a story. So, like, whatever they're telling, they're confident in, but it might not hit the way we think. Either way,
See,
I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think the
it's
Pikachu is bad at all. I think the Pikachu is.
I hate that it's
helps-
Pikachu.
No,
but-
why do you hate it? Because all it's doing is making a grander story more palatable, right? If we want something that's like super complicated and convoluted, and there's a twist, like the Pikachu grounds it. Something that I never cared about in Scarlet and Violet. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you, but like I think this is relevant. Something that I noticed in Scarlet and Violet, or that I never noticed or cared about, was the fact that like Koraidon is your buddy the whole time, and then it's revealed as a paradox. And that's probably because I knew it was a paradox. Also, it's kind of obvious that it's like going to have some sort of significance.
Yeah.
But my niece, again, loves her Miraidon. Absolutely loves.
Probably magical for a kid.
She calls it Violet. She's like, that's Violet. Like, I love it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, great. That's so special to her. So I could see if we're trying to get this convoluted, weird, crazy, exciting, mythical, legendary Pokemon, right? For the legends and for whatever, right? It would make sense that you kind of ground it in this familiar, cute Pikachu. Like, I think the kids will eat it up, but also, it's like, I don't think it's a detriment because it's like a temporary form. When you have this Pokemon, it's going to be like Ultra Necrozma. Like that's how I would think about it. Like it's just going to be this behemoth in its true form. It's going to be just a Pokemon, a legendary Pokemon in its true form. That's all. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I
interrupted you.
I hope you're right. I don't mind the concept at all. I don't mind the concept. It's more just how these Pikachu. It had to be a Pikachu, first of all. Second of all, it's how they're designed is like it's just so goofy, and it's fine.
It's just
you're
like,
right for kids, but yeah, we talked about it last time. They're not
me,
serious enough.
Yeah, for me, I'm not worried about how the actual legendaries themselves are going to look. I feel like they'll look pretty good.
I am a little bit. If they look anything like them.
Legendaries hit most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, for me, there's only like one generation where they're not good, and that's Gen 8. But that's a different story.
Whoa. Those are sick, though.
I'm just curious, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, they hit most of the time. They're good. And so I feel like the actual forms will be pretty good, but it goes to what Soul is saying. Like, if they're going to tell this kind of story, I want them to tell this kind of story. I don't want it to be like watered down or kiddified or anything. Cause it's like,
it's unfortunate.
That's what I get from these guys. Like these Pikachus that are like tourists. Like I get like, I very much get like, Coco Melon type vibes, for lack of a better term. Like it just feels like it's built for like it's like it's a Pokefied version, it's a kiddified version of this story, and it's like we can tell a cool story and have it be digestible for kids without putting Pikachu in like a dress and like an old tourist outfit,
Yeah,
I think that's more than it's funny because it's an old tourist. It's like that's what the god would do. It's like they're not just like a regular person. They'd be like, oh, I'm a tourist.
Right.
But like it would be cooler if that's what they're going for. I would rather these two be like actual like characters, like actual people that suddenly become the legendary. That'd be cooler.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be cooler.
That would be cooler.
This is like
that's not a Pokemon.
This is like dressing up
becoming a Pokemon.
This is like dressing up your dog. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I know. That's
like I don't want that in my legendary.
I think the biggest thing I don't.
But you won't have to interact with it.
I love hate it.
You won't have to interact with it.
Yeah, I like
but
love
you
hate
will
it.
because this is going to be you can go after this.
No worries.
I promise. But
yeah,
but like the point is that you are going to have to interact with it because he's going to be like on your shoulder or over your shoulder the whole time, like throughout your adventure. So like I'm going to have to look at this.
Sure.
One of these two Pikachu.
See, I'm not looking at it like a partner Pokemon. I'm not looking at it like Nebby. I'm looking at it like it's going to be at the resort. It'll be a character. that I interact with. But once it changes its form and it becomes the god legend, I catch it and it's just the legendary Pokemon, you know? Like you never deal with Nebby ever again because it evolves. It becomes something different.
Two things. I hate it because I like whimsy, you know, like whimsy is cool and cute. And I like that it's for kids in a way. Obviously for me, I want it to be cooler.
I didn't know you liked whimsy, if I gotta be honest with you.
No, I do. I like the joy.
That sounds like a lie.
I like the joy. No, I do. It makes sense. But
like Soul Silver Art 2026. I like whimsy. Really?
I like the whimsy. It's love-hate, right? Because I would rather it be cooler. But at the same time, I think the key thing that is very off-putting or just not attractive is just that it's just a cosmetic clothes change. Like if they were giving me two Pikachu forms that were actually a different looking Pikachu.
No, they look different. They have different eyes. It is enough, dude. It's like
not for me.
It's this. Well, is the same. It's this. These Pikachu look without the clothing look as different from Pikachu as Pikachu looks from Pikachu. They have.
They're just shiny Pikachu with different eyes. I don't know. It's not enough.
And cheeks and skin. They're completely different.
Yeah.
Objectively, they are different.
They're objectively different, but not. I would agree with Soul. Like they're basically just like tan. That's kind of what they are.
All right. Let's just. Okay.
I forgot what my second point was.
We do need to move on. It's been 40 minutes. What the heck is? Welcome to the podcast.
I mean, in the end, we're just talking about are they going to be Naga or not? Because if they or let me go with this. This is like a segue to the other things. If there's other legendaries, and let's say, or even Pokemon that are based on gods, a lot of times gods will like transform into humans, like in myths. Yeah. So
this is the Pokemon version of that. Just
right. I still haven't thrown out the idea of like Greek gods being inspirations, even because Pokemon likes to do that, where they just like to pull from different mythos. But so but even I haven't studied the Indonesian culture as much. I mean, I've looked into it. There's not as much. The main ones that transform into humans are Naga, you know.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of human deities in general, like human looking. So I don't know, but to me, all of the other sub legendaries or legendaries, or even they could be grouped in with the box legendaries, could be based on Greek gods that are like transform into other things like Pokemon or humans. So there is a thought, there's a thread throughout the whole thing in my mind, because we do have the Majin, which is also another thing that was leaked related to the gimmick, and they could be related to like godlike Pokemon or supernatural beings. So
let's do this. I guess let's button up the box art legends, and we will obviously talk about it again. But I want to talk about the third legend a little bit. I would like to talk about. We can talk about the gimmick, and I also want to talk about some other legendaries. But let's just button this up. I guess I want to talk about types. We talked about maybe what these things might look like, but like, let's lock in maybe some predictions for types that these Pokemon would be. To be honest, it's hard for me to imagine. I mean, this is Hoops' art right here. He depicts two serpents, one of the sky, one of the of the ocean, and they both look like dragons to me. But I've seen some other cool art. I think flying type and water type are kind of a lock.
Yeah, they're like locked in.
What do you guys think?
It's tough.
I would say, I would agree the flying and water are a lock. I think, obviously, it's going to depend on, are they a Naga? Are they a Garuda? Like, what are they based on? But I do think you could do just pure flying, pure water. I think that's not off the table. I think psychic is possible. Yes. If the Naga happens, I think dragon is very possible. If the Garuda happens, I don't know enough about the Garuda to pin something on it other than like a flying type, but like, again, psychic could work.
I would say electric is possible.
Dude, that would be cool.
Like thunderstorms. Yeah. Something like that. Like there's a huge storm theme throughout the leaked information. Like
they could, and maybe they both get electric because of that. Because that what that would do is if they were both electric type. I mean, it would kind of, if they were both actually electric type, it would kind of nullify it. But what I was going to say is it would give each of them an advantage over the other because both flying and water are weak to electric.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So,
yeah,
something
that's
along those
that's
lines.
nice. No, that's really good because it's in balance. One isn't stronger than the other,
and that could be another idea for like the third legendary too. Maybe it's electric.
Can we rule out? Has there ever been a box art legend that is a monotype? Not counting Blastoise because it is monotype, but that's not a legendary.
Legendaries.
Wait, where's the list?
Not off the top of my head.
Groudon and Kyogre.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we literally could just get a flying type and a water type legendary Pokemon. That is possible.
That would make the most sense in my opinion,
because they are in balance.
Yeah.
And they're not conflicting. I mean, we could definitely see it. We could see it.
Yeah.
But would two water type ocean legends be maybe too much of a crossover? I was playing ZA this weekend. And I just remembered and was appreciating how like Primal Groudon, because it's a primal form, suggests that Groudon was once always part fire type. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, it would have been kind of cool if Kyogre was like maybe got that that electric type that we're talking about because of like storm clouds or whatever, or maybe you got ice type or dark type or something. I don't know. That would have been kind of cool.
I don't think that there's too much of a like what is it, run over? Yeah, I don't think there's too much, especially because those games are very far from these games. But it does make a lot of sense, and there is just to
add to this, Xerneas is also mono fairy.
Just fairy, type. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of before.
Yeah, so we have seen it in Evoltal. It has two types.
Yeah,
which is dark.
They can do anything essentially.
So yeah, exactly. They can do anything.
But I do think that it makes the most sense for it to be that because of just winds and waves. Like it makes a lot of sense. They could totally do it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, to me, winds and waves is literally a mix of Hoenn, Alola, and there was another. I mean, a little bit of Johto, but like it's like going back to those games a lot for me. So like I think that Hoenn and Alola vibes are all throughout the whole thing. So I think it could totally happen.
I think my prediction is going to be they're going to be the Waves legend is going to be, where's the logos here? The Wave legend, the Winds legend is going to be flying fairy type, and the Waves legendary is going to be water fairy. I think that'd be kind of cool. We haven't seen that many other fairy box arts since X and Y, and we just got the one. But I think the fairy type to me represents myth. It represents shape shifting. It represents nature, right? That's a big thing. It represents nature, and I think that'd be kind of cool. I think that's kind of underrated. I like a lot of fairy types when they have to do with magic.
Right.
You know, if you're still listening to this right now, you're pretty deep into the episode, and you probably like it. Is that fair to say, guys? The viewer probably likes it. This show, Hidden Power, is only possible because of our Patreon and YouTube channel member supporters. Yes, this is an advertisement, but I want to tell you, like, you can get a lot. You can get a lot more content from this podcast. If you sign up and join the Hidden Power universe, we put out 4 additional podcasts every single month. That's a whole new podcast, over an hour long, every single week on Mondays, that you could be adding to your rotation, your podcast rotation. There's so many Pokemon conversations that we have that are exclusive to those episodes, and you can unlock it. And
they're juicy.
That's true.
We talk about stuff that honestly would make me squirm to talk about publicly. Mostly just because they're like usually off topic and chaotic and a lot of fun. But yeah, those are you can get all of those. Links are in the description. You also get access to the Discord, and that is where everything happens. We have over 500 trainers in the secret Hidden Power Discord. That's where all the stuff happens, and we are actually we're really bolstering up our community, the Discord. We're creating avenues for people to give feedback and to control the direction of the show through voting on what episodes they want to see, for submitting Q&As, submitting voicemails, so we can actually showcase more of you guys, the people who make this show possible on the podcast. We're all Pokemon fans. This is the home for Pokemon discussion, and we're trying to get you all in the mix in new, fun, innovative ways, which I'm excited about. And members get 10% off merch. Shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com. 10% off merch forever. You can support at the lowest tier, legendary tier, box legendary, mythical tier. If you support at the mythical tier or higher, you will get your name read on the show. And guess what? This is on Patreon exclusively. This is not a YouTube thing, but if you want to sign up on Patreon, you can actually pay annually and get 20% off. At higher tiers, that's up to $20 off your yearly membership. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys so much for all the support. We love you. And back to the episode.
If you want to go like a little more wild too, you can. We've talked about it on the podcast, but winds and waves occur because of the sun and the moon. Like that's what I'm saying. Like with it being tied to Alola in a way as well. And a lot of times that at least the moon represents psychic type. So like psychic is definitely an option in here, even though legendaries use that type kind of often. It kind of reminds me of Lugia a little bit in Ho-Oh, where it's like it could be psychic and fire. So I'm like a little bit of Johto in there too. Totally. So I don't know. It's really depends. It's hard to tell.
Actually, to me, that explanation perfectly, like, it reminds me a lot of like Solgaleo. Solgaleo was like a steel type, and everyone was like, why is it a steel type? And it's a steel type because of this like more in-depth like origin lore explanation. And to me, explaining the winds as like winds exist because of different temperatures of air and air pressure, which again goes to fire type, and that just sounds like a kind of explanation they would use. So
yep
that could happen.
That's what I mean. Like they could throw something wild at us, and that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think I'm a little bit like, I don't know about water psychic because of Gekwa, but who knows? They could do both.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know what the type's going to be. Also,
I know, but it feels.
You know what's hilarious, dude? You know what's hilarious? I feel like anytime they introduce a type for like a starter, recently it has felt like they will also introduce that type combination somewhere else in the game, which is weird because you would like to think that like a starter could have like just like a unique type combination. And it's like but it's like they end up, I don't know, just keep putting them elsewhere. Like we got Decidueye after getting all of the Generation 6 Ghost grass types. I think, what was it? There was I'm thinking about Grass Dark recently. I feel like has been like a big thing. Right?
Yeah, Grass Dark has been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been literally everywhere. So so they could double up. All right, let's talk about the third legendary. I think this is kind of part of it. We've talked about it a little bit, but so something else I think I want to flag is that Winds and Waves, this feels like let's look at the box art legends again. This feels like the first time we got we're getting a mainline brand new generation Pokemon game that doesn't have a like sharp, harsh red color. Very weird. And if we didn't get red, it was always like it was orange or it was pink. It was some sort of version. It was a hue. It was an offshoot of red. Actually, I say that, but we have black and white. However, I think black and white work well because it's like truly so contrasting.
Look at black and white too, though.
Yes, exactly. And they have like these undertone colors. And so I guess what I'm thinking is like, I don't know, it feels right that the third legend, right? The Rayquaza, the Giratina, the Kyurem is going to be a red legend. And I think it would make sense if maybe this is like a land creature. This is a volcano creature, a fire creature, right? Something that is basically, if Winds and Waves are these fluid, forces of nature, the thing that they don't really touch or that can interrupt them is land, right? The opposite of water is land. The opposite of the sky is the ground. So that's really cool. And something that I was thinking about earlier, I meant to bring this up when I was talking about like what the seed legend could be or what the seed Pokemon can be. There is again, this might just be interpretation on PokeEos talking about the seed Pokemon. It talks about how let's read this. The seed Pokemon is not just a creature, but a system. Its growth directly affects the world itself, procedurally shaping islands, environments, and ecosystems. And to me, in the context of an open world, video game having to do with like a lot of water travel, like the only land that exists in these environments are the result of volcanic activity. So if the seed Pokemon is this in any way related to like a volcano or something, like imagine the choices that you make are now affecting what islands show up, right? I'm kind of thinking about like Hoopa in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where it's like Hoopa will make, or maybe it's not Hoopa, I actually forget, but there's all these different Mirage Islands that will show up under certain circumstances. No, I think, and it's under certain circumstances, Hoopa will be able to open portals, I think, to certain legendaries. And so I could see in Winds and Waves, as we're traveling through this game, if we're teamed up with the third legend or the seed Pokemon, whatever, if it has something to do with volcanoes, I could see islands forming, eroding, right? Changing dynamically, which would be kind of cool. And I could see the Austin John video already, right? Like, it's like, you need to have this many, I don't know, not donuts, sandwiches, whatever. Like, what you need to do this many things and have this many things and, train this Pokemon, and this will unlock, your little seed Pokemon to erupt the volcano. And then you can get Slugma.
Yeah.
I just got an idea.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, you know how in the Terra League, it's sort of talked about how Pokopia was apparently like the idea of Pokopia was a part of Winds and Waves at one point, and then they broke it off.
Yeah.
What we're describing here with the legendary, like shaping the environment and things like that, like what if in kind of the same way that like with Koraidon, Miraidon, you got more Herba Mystica, which allowed them to like fly and surf and climb and do all these other things.
Yes.
What if the same system is there, but it's like literally like you're terraforming the earth? So like you get an ability where you can like make a land bridge, or you can make water appear or something like that.
Bro, that's sick. This is the Minecraft aspect.
Yeah, and that's like where maybe Pokopia came into the picture, because they had this sort of idea in play, and they're like, what if we just like expand this and make it like its own game, basically?
Bro, that is so cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like, and I think also, this might not be for everyone, but I do think that is a game that could allow for a gameplay mechanic that would encourage, long play sessions, right? Being able to interact with not just your Pokemon. I feel like every Pokemon game, right? It is fun if you're a Pokemon fan because there's things to do with your Pokemon, but the missing link that used to be present with like HMs and stuff is the relationship and the ability to like interact with the environment itself. So being able to play through this new Gen 10 region and like literally build a secret base, right? Being able to literally dig underground. Like, these are elements that we've seen in Pokemon games, like the underground system in Sinnoh, the secret base system. Like, there's been all these ways that you can interact, the hidden grottos in Generation 5. These things have been around, but to see it in a more literal way where we can actually like manipulate in the environment. I'm not saying it's going to be like a block building adventure like Pokopia, but like, dude, that's a really fun idea. That's a lot of fun.
It makes a ton of sense because obviously for what I just said, but also if the Winds and Waves legendaries have dominion over the waves and the winds, and this seed legendary is connected to them, it probably has some kind of environmental control too. So and it
probably
could be like,
need a Groudon.
You
need a Groudon to the Rayquaza and Kyogre.
Diggersby though.
Yeah.
Dude, that's super fun.
Cut.
That's super
but
fun.
yeah, like I honestly, that makes a ton of sense. That would be super fun, and that would just work. Like as a progression system, that would be like, that would feel really good, I feel like.
Again, like I'm starting to get to the point where it's like I've used all my references for other open world games that I've played, but the one that I do think about is like Fallout. Again, this was on my PS4 maybe like a decade ago, but it's the one in Boston. Which one is that for? And like it's a normal Fallout game, but you can also then like build your house, right? You can build, you can defend your house. You can customize it however you want. This was something that like Skyrim started introducing that I never really messed around with, but I feel like that is a really just a natural thing, a continuation of or like something you would want, right? If we're going to be playing Winds and Waves for 3-4 years after it comes out, regardless, if you want this game to be fun, right? You want there to be things after the game is over, or even during when the game's going on. Like you could, and it'd be kind of cool if like, again, I guess I'm thinking about secret bases, and I'm like, there are things that they could add to the secret bases that are more dynamic and aren't just cosmetic. Like, it's not just like putting plushies out, but instead it's like, if you put these things together, maybe, and then you interact with it, maybe for 10 minutes, you can now have a increased chance of catching dragons or something. Right.
Yeah.
Which is something that we usually get from these like food systems, but like they're fine, but they also seem a little silly. And I guess I would prefer, I'm playing a lot of Pokopia. I'm enjoying it. And I'm like, I think I would prefer if like our base, we could customize it and set up in like all the little power-ups that we want to have. Like you could collect these power-ups, discover these power-ups. That's a collecting system in its own right. And then use those to then, influence and give you like an advantage out in the field. That sounds fun, right? Yeah. Again, a balance of nature, like being able. Yeah, bro, that's cool. I like that idea a lot.
To your point about giving us more stuff to do after we beat the game, this is a different tangent, but I'm gonna predict that once we beat the game, there's gonna be this system. Maybe it'll even be in the DLC.
Sure.
Where the big hotel that we're staying at, people start checking in, and it's like characters from other games. They start checking in.
Oh, I like that.
And like you get to go to their like kind of like Blueberry Academy. Like you get to go to their room and you get to see them and maybe battle them, or maybe you find them out in the region somewhere. I feel like that to me like sounds like it really could happen, because this
sounds
game
like
is
Blueberry
also,
Academy 2.0.
This game is like, I mean, again, it's like Ho and Alola, and we saw a lot of that in Alola, and it's also like 30th anniversary game, so I think
that's so true. So real.
I like that a lot, man. And yeah, we could have all these returning characters. That is super fun. Not just like the Blueberry Academy people. Damn.
It would be.
And if that does happen, like then that would make sense why like so many Unova characters didn't show up. That would explain why so many so many X and Y characters didn't show up in ZA, right? Like there's been opportunities for old characters to return, and it's fine. They didn't do it. I'm glad they introduced new characters. That is always nice. But it is also nice to see like, bro, imagine if we got like a Pokemon World Tournament, right? Where they bring back over 50, over 60, 70 characters. And
they did it before.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm thinking is like, what if they bring them back and they all visibly look at least 5 years older, 10 years older?
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Maybe not that much, because it's like, what do you do with the older characters? But like to just at least maybe give them a new, like new clothes or something, right? And not just the original. Like when the Pokemon World Tournament, like we saw all the characters as they were always. But in Alola, in the battle tree, we see Red and Blue aged up. So that would be kind of cool.
It would be. It might be more akin to that, where I don't know how many characters actually returned for the battle tree. I think it was not that many.
It was like maybe 10. There was still, like Wally shows up randomly.
Right. But it would still be cool no matter what.
It would be.
We got 10. That'd be fun.
I love that idea, Hoops. That really inspired me. I think we're a little bit off topic. But
it's just a tiny bit. I can go back. I think the because I was holding on to the idea, but just I agree with all of the third legendary ideas that you guys were coming up with, but especially just that volcanoes are such a huge part of that area of the world. Like, it's just crazy to me. I think volcanoes will
There's
have
something
some kind of role in this game somehow. Like they worship one of the volcanoes, you know what I mean? So it's like, the loudest volcano was heard all the way to Africa happened there.
yeah.
It's all about volcanoes in that area of the world. And since we don't have the red to the blue and green of Pokemon games, I really feel like the third legendary could fill that role in somehow, some way, whether it's the seed Pokemon or not. It's like, it seems very probable.
So I was just like, to this point I've been thinking basically the same thing, is that it'll be a land-based legendary, so like fire or ground or something to do with volcanoes, like feels really like likely. But through talking about this, I also like the idea of an electric type storm legendary that kind of
True.
complements the box art legendaries. But
yeah, electric type is super effective against the water and the flying types. Is what
yes,
I
it is.
Yeah.
But to Soul's point, the volcanoes are very important. So I feel like maybe that has a little bit of an edge. But what you could do is you could make this electric type storm Pokemon. Maybe it's like a mythical. Maybe it's a little more of one of those secret, like out of the way type of Pokemon. Kind of like your Celebi or your Jirachi or whatever. That's like, they're not connected, but they kind of are. And I would love that, because I think I feel like we honestly don't get that many electric type legendaries. Like, there's a couple, but there's not that many.
Zapdos, there's Thundurus,
Zekrom, but that's it. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, Zekrom.
So
let me see.
Yeah,
there's a Tapu. Yeah, there's a handful, but not. There's actually a pretty good
I guess
amount.
there's
there's a pretty good amount.
But I don't know. I guess a little like Pixie, like electric type sounds fun.
Right.
I guess I wanted to say, like, part of this conversation is also like, we are not getting a third version of Winds and Waves, right? We are likely to get DLC, probably based on the other two mainline games, at least two different locations and DLC packs. I personally think there's an opportunity for us to get more than that, or maybe there's. I think I'm really interested. I like the idea of like multiple locations, because it's an island hopping adventure. They could like literally have us, surf, travel on the waves to like either familiar locations or brand new locations. Like, there's a lot of, and that area is so dense with like different countries and cultures. There's Australia. There is, right. You got Thailand. You have, you've got, there's literally, there's Korea, there's China, there's India, you got Singapore, Japan is even up there. So like, there's a lot of opportunity for like, different places to show up. But my point is if Winds and Waves, we got these neutral colors, I do think it makes sense, for another legendary. I think it's usually called not a trio master, but like, that wouldn't be a trio master, right? That would just be the third legend.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a trio master, but these are all fan terms anyway.
So I don't know. The volcano makes sense to me because it feels like it contrasts with Winds and Waves, and then also like, I get two ways of thinking about this. The volcano legend or the red legend, I'll call it, right? You get the green and the blue legend in Winds and Waves, but then the red legend would be, I think it's like almost like applying the red legend, the cool legend or whatever, the more powerful, aggressive legend. You can get them in both of the games now, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Which should be that way, because apparently the other two, I mean, it's always like this with legendaries, but the other two are like not even existent in each other's games.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like Miraidon does not exist in Scarlet version, right?
Yeah. Kind of like Sun and Moon, where like they don't exist at all, unless you go to the other universe where they do exist.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a chance that the red legend would appear or represent. Like, I do think we don't need to talk about this now, but like each DLC, an important part of the DLC is that it like looks distinct. like the color of the mascot of the DLC is going to contrast with the box arts that we have. And then they repackage a brand new game, right? We're going to get a Pokemon Wins version with the DLC. What is it called? Like the DLC, included, right? It'll be like a standalone cartridge. And then you have like the game is going to be green and then maybe a red legend at the bottom. So I guess I'm just saying, like, we might not get it right out of the gate, but I do think that Volcano Legend is coming at some point, and it would be cool if it was, I don't know, I would just make it Fire type, Fire Fairy. Honestly, make all of these like Fairy types that'd be kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
They're all these like natural shapeshifters.
Yeah. Something else I was going to bring up is, I think Lumi actually brought this up before, but if you look at Gen 8 and Gen 9, you look at the base game, so like Scarlet and Violet, and then you look at the DLC, they're like tangentially kind of like themed and like related to the base game. So like Scarlet and Violet are named Scarlet and Violet, so the DLC are named after Teal and Indigo, 2 more colors. And then Gen 8 is Sword and Shield, so then you have Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra, Armor Crown, Sword Shield, it all fits together. So for Winds and Waves, I feel like whatever DLC we get would very much be named something like land based. Like that's the only other thing along with Winds and Waves that I can think
I'm trying to think
that fits that vibe.
Yeah.
Because
lava sounds too not good. It doesn't work. It's like lava. But they do try to like.
True. I've seen these online. I saw. No, you're right. I've seen someone make a version. I think it was Pokemon Lands. Right. I think it was Pokemon Lands and Pokemon. I saw something else.
Pokemon Earth.
Yeah, it was a Pokemon
Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
that could be good because Winds
like,
isn't flying, so you could interpret it a little bit.
I feel like like it'll be like Scorched Earth, or it'll have some kind of name like that, but like that is legitimately the only thematic kind of thing along with Winds and Waves that feels like it makes sense. Because I do feel like it'll be some kind of like ecological, natural phenomena like Winds and Waves, and so it could be like it I don't know, it'll be something along those lines. And Volcano Earth, that just kind of feels like it makes the most sense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's pretty much a third legendary. It's kind of weird if it ends up being, I mean, let's talk about this. There's kind of 2 a lot of times, because the DLC does take the place of a third game. Yeah. And so there's 2 a lot of times where it's like,
I was just going to say another one I could see now that I'm thinking about it is ice, something.
Yeah, I was just going to say snow. Snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would also make sense because it is like removed, or it is like, if this is like a warmer climate, that would be something that would be maybe a new destination or just something new that is like brought into it that I guess visually contrasts. But again, like the element is also like, I'm just trying to think of like, I guess lava would be one, but also I guess I'm thinking about like sandstorms. I'm trying to think about like other disasters, other like not disasters, but like really strong things that could affect
the weather.
Yeah. Not even
the environment,
but just the climate. Yeah.
No, but it is this game. We know that there's some kind of weather thing going on, so I think that it's very likely that weather is connected to whatever legendaries we get in general. But yeah, I hope that we get a proper third legendary again, because technically Terapagos really wasn't.
I was going to say that we didn't really get one, and Terapagos is like technically, I think it's technically from Area 0, which is technically in Paldea, but do we actually get it in Area 0? Don't we get it in don't we get it in Kitakami?
No, it's in Area 0.
Oh wait, no, you're right. At the top of at the top of the mountain, there is like there's something there, but it's the underdepths. But then Ogerpon's just like a random one, so we could
it's just a regular legendary. So
there could just be a bunch of random stuff. I do like the idea of the third legend being like almost a villain to the. I guess it could go either way. For so long, we've had like the Trio Master being like almost like the good guy or like the savior, the one that keeps balance. But in Sword and Shield, the dogs are the heroes, and Eternatus is the threat, and that is also kind of like a little bit of a different things. No, I guess we've also seen that with like Necrozma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's both.
It just flip flops then, I guess. So,
it's really interesting
you're right.
looking.
Giratina, no, you're right. It goes, yeah.
It's really interesting looking at the Sword and Shield one specifically. All the colors are there. Like if you got red, blue, green, and yellow. Like that's what's happening no matter what.
Yeah, 100%.
You just got to look at it and be like, yeah, Pokemon's going to do red, blue, green, and yellow
so,
at some point.
Yeah, so I'm honestly, I kind of love my idea of just the fairy. I feel like the fairy type is a little bit underutilized. I think about the Tapus, and I think I like that they are, like they feel, yeah, like these mythical creatures that are in touch with nature. And that is what all these everything that I'm hearing about Winds and Waves, it's all I can imagine. And I would like to see a new take on that. Fairy truly is just as powerful. It is even one-on-one more powerful than dragon type. And we've had so many dragons, and I love dragon types. We talk about it on Secret Power. This week we talked about that on Monday for members only. But I think the fairy type is just as powerful. I really do, and doesn't need to be like. I don't really think most people have this stereotype anymore, but it's like it doesn't need to be Flabébé. It's not just Jigglypuff, the type, right?
I actually think that it's an opportunity for them to expand the designs of fairy types from that. You know, like that's what I want. Like, because fairy types as they are, most of them, I'm generalizing, I like don't like the style of it. But you know, if they can like something really crazy can be a fairy type too, like something really cool. Like I don't know, like, even the Tapus I don't really like. It's like, yeah.
Well, I feel like with that, it kind of just depends on like the fact that it was a new type in the first place. Because like if you think about it, when you introduce a fairy type, the first Pokemon that you make are gonna be fairies, like
right?
Because you're not gonna not do that. And the same thing happened with Dark and Steel type. Like they obviously they introduced a metal snake, and they introduced this like evil dark type like hellhound dog. Like they did super obvious things, and then it's like
metal
once you take
Steelix.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. And then so like you do the obvious things first, and then once you take care of that stuff, that's when I feel like you get more creative. And I feel like Gen 10 will be the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Yeah, it'll be the 5th generation of fairy types. And so I feel like it's like we've pretty well done the whole fairy thing at this point.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like there's an opportunity to do some more atypical fairy types.
Yeah. Like Whimsicott being fairy type is cool because it's just like, I don't know. It just has this like extra additional magic power to it. You know, Klefki is something I think about. It's not, I don't know. I think they could do a lot of cool things. Yeah, dude, the Tapus are sick, you know? The Tapus really, and I think also because they do feel a little bit more like gendered, or they kind of, the Tapus specifically look a little bit, they reflect human.
They're humanoid.
Yeah, they
mostly. Not Tapu.
Okay.
Not Tapu Bulu.
We should do a tier list on that.
We talked about that.
I missed that. Tapu Bulu is fine, but the rest of them, I agree.
Yeah, like
they're humanoid.
Yeah, they have like these human elements, and I guess all I'm saying is like that also ties in with what we think maybe the legendaries could be. So yeah, I don't know. The fairies are cool. Yeah. So that's
just looking at all of them. Yeah. I'm just like, it's just not, this type is just not my aesthetic.
Yeah. Because it's like
fairy types.
The ones that I really look into that I think are sick, it's like the ones that feel, I don't know, like Fluttermane. Like, I guess maybe that one gets a pass because it's like a paradox and they have pretty weird types. But it's like they're fairy tales. They're just these magical creatures. And that does feel kind of foreign and wicked. Like I think some legendaries would be really sweet.
I think legendaries with the fairy type would definitely be cool because they make them more epic. I think that's what I tend to lean towards.
I mean, dude, think about like Xerneas truly is like such a great design.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Xerneas is the best fairy type.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys: have you seen the new merch in our merch store? Have you seen this? We got a ton of new merch for the 30th anniversary. This year's been crazy. You know what? We actually do need some Pokopia merch. I think personally that would be super fun. But we got a ton of cool designs here featuring some of your favorite Pokemon: Slowpoke, Psyduck. We got some unknown merch, the double battle hidden power tee. This one's on my list to pick up. But truthfully, bro, it's been so hot outside, and we got this gorgeous Blaze Kick t-shirt. And if you want to stay cool, we also have the Aurora Beam t-shirt featuring these little.
I think Hoops picked that one up, if I'm not mistaken.
I have this one in white, and I love it. It's great. It fits really well. It's just a great shirt to wear. It's awesome. I love it.
These little Snorunt. I don't think I've ever loved Snorunt anymore.
More than this.
Yeah. This really is one of our best sellers, but I think I need to pick up the double battle tee.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's got green, really, really nice. The hidden power color there. This one's Blaze Kick. And another item that's super popular right now is the iPhone MagSafe case. It features all of these stamps, which are designs that our guy Noivi created over the years, and he applied them. Some of these little sticker designs are exclusive to this iPhone case. But it's such a cool design, and there's some like retro, outdated designs that are still. Anyways, so many cool things here.
Art's really nice though.
Yeah, this one became actually one of our best sellers. I've been seeing it more and more. Never before has an iPhone case on our store been a bestseller, and this one is a bestseller. So go check that out.
There's honestly a lot of. As a fan and now a co-host, like I honestly think this store has some of the best like PokeTuber merch that I've personally seen, and with so much like actual Pokemon merch. Like I tried to get stuff from the Target drop, and it just sells out immediately. Like this is a great way to like pick something up, rep Pokemon, but also rep the pod and help support it, because it all just goes right back into obviously creating more shows and content. So it helps out a lot, and you get a great piece of merch out of it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com. Go check it out. Support the show. Members on YouTube or Patreon get 10% off. Yeah, so my pick would just be we got fairy flying, fairy water. We eventually get a fairy fire. I mean, that's the type that we want, right? Fairy
yes, fire. It hasn't existed.
That's what everyone wants Pombon to turn into. So that would be great. Yeah. Okay. What is also going to happen is we're going to be seeing, like, presumably, just other legendary Pokemon throughout the region, lesser legendaries. Do you guys have any ideas for what we could actually see for just like lesser legendary Pokemon? I think just examples are, I guess it's helpful to maybe go in order, but it's like the legendary Kanto birds, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. That's a trio that kind of started a trend for a while. Then you had the legendary beast of Johto, the Reggies, the 3 Reggies. You have Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf. That's a trio. The Swords of Justice, right? The Genies, a lot of trios, and then also like a lot of duos as well, like Latios and Latias. But they could also get kind of freaky with it, I'm realizing, because Cresselia is a legendary, but it's kind of a counterpart to Darkrai, which is a mythical. Right. Heatran's by itself.
Who knows what they were thinking?
Yeah. Regigigas is like a trio master to the Reggies of the previous gen. Then you have, I mean, yeah, there's some weird ones that you can't predict, like Type Null or Savali. Yeah. So
it's hard to predict for sure.
For sure. But I guess I think so yeah, I'm not saying just like let's throw a dart at the wall, but like where does your mind go? Because I really enjoy how the Ruinous Quartet feels so foreign to this, Iberian inspired region, like the region of Paldea. I love that they feel so foreign, and there is little bits of lore in there explaining the wider Pokemon region. Like that's it. I like that a lot. And so when I think about this new game, like, yeah, I want to see brand new groups of legendary Pokemon that could maybe help. Like this, Gen 10 is going to allow us to be in a brand new part of the Pokemon world that we've never been to before. Like we could get a legendary trio or quartet from Australia, right? Or from like an Australia region that we'll never see. We could get, I mean, to be honest, again, it just feels like a slam dunk with it being the 30th year anniversary. But like on the map where the Gen 10 region is inspired by, if you just look northeast, Japan is up there. And so any of the, I don't know, like there could be another like Johto beast that is like introduced or something.
That'd be
right?
so fun. Please.
Like I'm just saying, like
love that.
anything from the Japanese regions could have something additional added. Like maybe there's another Reggie here for all we know, right? Maybe there's another.
I'd rather a new beast, to be honest, but
for sure,
since they just did it with the paradoxes, they might not touch those again. And that's something to consider if you're talking about which ones that they'll revisit. Even like the Tapus are ripe for it, unfortunately. But I don't know who else you could think of, but they're the ones that are next up in the list because they've basically touched on all the other ones other than the most recent.
Yeah,
I would actually really be interested to see how they could do a Tapu because obviously, like, there's islands, so like there could be just like another island guardian, but like I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they would do it because they're not going to make another 4 for however many islands there are or whatever. There's going to be probably just like one more that like watches over this region or something.
Right.
But it fits perfectly. So I think that would actually be really cool. And it also could potentially be the fire fairy type because they're all fairy types. So
they are all fairy types.
The other thing also,
that would be sick.
Now that I mentioned that, because obviously Island Guardians, they're fairy type themed. The Gen 9, the Treasures of Ruin, they're dark type themed. So we could potentially get another like themed group around a certain type. And that
steel
sparks,
type.
That
maybe
sparks, I going back to our
fighting, like a fighting quartet or something.
Yeah, well, we technically have that with the what are their called?
Oh yeah, the Swords of Justice.
Swords of Justice.
Oh, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah.
My brain to wrap back around to our Secret Power episode. My brain is going to the Ghost type. But yeah, like there are types they there are types they could use that would. I mean, because they've done a few obviously, but they've not done that for a lot of types. So picking another type and just building a trio around it would be really cool.
Not to play into the joke more, but the crazy thing about you loving using the ghost type for your fake mon is I watched a creator who is actually Indonesian and I forget her name. I'm so sorry.
Can you look that up like after? Because I'm curious, and then we can.
It's super interesting what she was talking about. It was an awesome video. I watched it like 3 months ago, so that's why I don't remember.
Okay.
But she just was mentioning that Indonesia is like there's a million ghost myths. Like it is just there's so much ghost stuff going on. So a ghost trio or quartet of legendaries makes a lot of sense to me after hearing that and looking into myths myself. Like I have a website up for this topic that we're talking about right now that has a bunch of the myths, and a lot of them are like ghostly or spiritual and all that. So I think ghost is a very probable situation.
That's cool.
I would.
So
that would be
happy. Be happy. Hoops. But yeah, I'll have to look up her name. I hope she makes more videos on it too.
Yeah. I guess I would have to do some. I feel like I don't even trust my own research because it's like I'll look things up about these different locations that I've like never been to, but because it's all online, I'm like I just never know what to judge as like real or maybe it's misinformation or maybe it's maybe I'm misinterpreting it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went on my trip physically, when I was literally in Scotland, there were so many themes that just kept like ringing true in real life exhibits and stuff that like it just I believe it's easy. Like I'm like, oh, this is the truth. And so but it'd be kind of cool to look at like Indonesia and the surrounding areas because I'm sure there's like I bet there's something that would pop up where you could be like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe they could explore this specifically as a as a new legendary quartet or something.
I think what you mentioned though earlier about the legendaries being like foreign is actually something it's not like something that happens all the time, but it actually does happen a little bit more than you would think because again, Treasures of Ruin, they're like Chinese. You've got both of the trios from Unova, which are like they're like Chinese sort of, and then like French for the Swords of Justice. You've got those might be the only ones to be honest. But like,
did you say the? Did you? Yeah, no. Yeah,
I mean, Urshifu is also.
Urshifu.
We'll just say that
foreign.
You could get
We're
a
going to
Chinese.
China
You could get
DLC.
a Chinese trio. Like Chinese is pretty likely.
Well, it's just like, I mean, they can. This just kind of goes to show that they can do anything, and so it's hard to predict. But one thing I will say, like as far as like wishes, like I definitely want a proper trio because, like, I mean, or a quartet. A quartet is fine, but I want a group for sure because like we didn't get that in Gen 8, and I kind of missed it. We also didn't get it in Gen 6, going back a little farther. So like sometimes they don't do it, and so it's like I'm always like, please do it. Like we need it.
What's crazy is like it feels like we didn't get a lot of legendaries because I'm like looking at this list and it feels like we didn't get a lot of legendaries in Generation 9. Like looking at this, but the truth is
we did.
It felt like we got a lot because we got all the Paradox Pokemon.
And they're kind of just cool. Like they're kind of just like broken up a little more because we really only got in the base game the box art legendaries and the Treasures of Ruin, so like classic legendary format. But then we got all the DLC legendaries to kind of make up for that. But yeah, I definitely want a trio or a quartet, a group. And I definitely want them to do what the Treasures of Ruin did, because like having to find those stakes and then like find the like seal that they were located in, that was super cool, especially when like I stumbled upon one of those stakes for the first time and I was like, what the heck is this? And so I grab it and then like all this ominous stuff starts happening. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it doesn't tell you. It just like you have to figure it out. And with an island based game, they could really do some crazy stuff with that kind of
you can see style. You can see that they're kind of trending that way with some of these legendaries to give them like side quests almost. I mean, even as far as Sword and Shield, I think that's where you would say it started with the DLC, with the legendary birds, the Regieleki, like those were all kind of side questy, and even Legends Arceus, you had to, do a little side quest for Enamorus, stuff like that is cool, and I hope that they continue.
And I do hope also, this probably would be a DLC thing if anything, but I really do hope they give another member, like an older group, another member, like they did with Enamorus, like they did with the Galarian birds. They just like, or the Regis. That is just like so fun to me, and there are several groups they could mess with. We talked about the beasts. We talked about, I mean, they could always add new Regis. I've actually done a whole series on my channel where I look at like, what if legendary Pokemon like got new members added to their groups, and like there's just a lot of possibilities. So
okay, I got an idea. I'm imagining a brand new Generation 10 quartet that's similar to the Ruinous quartet, except these are creatures, these are legendary beings that come from Australia. And so you have these 4 unique looking creatures, but they're all bound together by some sort of spiritual, magical lore. You've got a kangaroo legendary Pokemon, a koala legendary Pokemon, a platypus, legendary Pokemon, and maybe a wombat or maybe a dingo. I don't know. What do we think? Is this racist? I don't know.
No,
I think that sounds super fun. That sounds,
but it's fun. That sounds fun.
I don't know about the platypus being legendary, but I do think and like expect there to be a platypus Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Chiyu is a goldfish. Like we got a goldfish legendary Pokemon.
True.
So
true.
I think I just appreciate that the Ruinous Quartet all like they all have something that connects them, but they all look unique. I think I really appreciate that because a lot of the legendary trios can sometimes feel like they're a little bit too similar for their own good, right?
Yeah.
Not always, but sometimes. I'm mostly looking at Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf.
They're the worst offenders. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun because I don't know. I'm really not expecting that much Australia representation, but like it is right there, and it is like such an iconic. I don't know. Like I feel like it. I guess no, that's not fair. Everywhere in the world has iconic elements to it, but I think you know what it is? I think it contrasts with most of what we're going to see in this game. So it's like kind of exciting to see like, you know, a culture, like cultural, just like cultural inspiration that is like contrasting with whatever's going to be in the mainline game. It makes it feel more exotic, right?
Yeah.
If everything in Gen 10 is going to be like Southeast Asian and Indonesian, that's great. We're going to see a lot of awesome things. But then like Australia just kind of like inherently, it just contrasts, right?
Yeah. And Australia has like the most animals of like any place that are basically like already Pokemon already. So since we're so close, I just feel like they've got to throw us like a handful of them at least.
Yeah.
And obviously like your kangaroos and especially your platypus, in my opinion, needs to happen. And it's also, you mentioned koala. Obviously, we've got Komala. We've been talking about this is Alola 2.0. Komala comes from Alola. So could we see some kind of Komala form or evolution?
I think so.
I feel like that's possible. I could also see like there's a lot of Pokemon out there that I'm like, and Komala is one of these where it's like, I feel like imagining an evolution for you is kind of tricky, but I could very much see it getting the gimmick form of this region. So like if that's like a weather form, or
that
like
makes sense.
We've talked about like reborn forms. I could very much see that. So
yeah, and then the last point, or I guess the last topic that I want to discuss today is like mythical Pokemon, and I do think like, so my whole theory has been that like every mythical Pokemon is either it's like an alien. It is not native to the region that it is actually, discovered in. They are all, you could trace them all back to either another region, another part of the world that we haven't explored yet, or it's just not from our world at all. Like I think Darkrai, I feel like Darkrai is from, right, it's from like another plane of existence. Probably the same thing with like Marshadow's from like the Shadow Realm, right? Or Deoxys is from space. So it would be kind of cool to see, again, like there's so many points of inspiration. We could either see something that I guess I could see like a Kalos inspired or like a French inspired creature within like as a mythical within this region, because it's like a callback, not a callback, but like it I guess it is a callback to like what we just had in ZA. It could be like Iberian related because of Paldea, or it could be literally any of these other cultures and countries that we've like already referenced in this episode, right? It could be like another Chinese inspired mythical Pokemon, or maybe it's Japanese again for the 30th anniversary. But it could literally be anything though.
For sure. That's what's so hard to like actually like, say anything about it, especially because what you said at the beginning, which is they're usually not from the region. Like Loxton again had this theory that they kind of teased to the next region, which I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it's sometimes. Like a lot of times it ends up being similar. So who knows? Like the mythical is very hard to tell or to say. I mean, the last one we got was Pecharunt, right? And that is very much based in Kitakami. Like that is so connected to the area. So that's interesting too. It's not, that's a whole nother thing, a whole nother theme. It's not any of the things that we just said.
Like Victini to me feels like a hint towards Kalos, because it's like Lady Liberty, it's the Statue of Liberty. It's not even in the dex, it's number 0. Like it's, to me, Victini is the first Melmetal, where like Meltan and Melmetal, it just says like region unknown. Like I think Victini was the original version of that. Keldeo, right? Three Musketeers. What is that? Spanish? So like that's
French.
That's not.
Yeah, French.
Oh, is it French too? Okay.
It kind of does. It kind of. I mean, I think some of them are more convincing than others, but like if you go through, like
I don't think it's a rule.
Like Jirachi and Deoxys, that is very obvious how it points to Diamond and Pearl. But even some of the later ones, like you mentioned Victini, also like Diancie. Like if you look at Diancie and Magearna side by side, they look pretty similar. Like Diancie could low key kind of be an Island Guardian.
Yep. Magirna as well, introduced in Gen 7. It feels very French coded.
Right. It's almost like a reverse. Like it was they made it for Kalos, but
yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah, the connections I think are a little bit loose, but like I do feel like the theme is that they're not similar to some of these legendaries that we talked about. I think all of the mythicals are from they're literally from somewhere else. That's what makes them mythical. That's what makes them rare, right?
Yeah, I'd almost love to see that one be an Australian Pokemon, since like who knows how much Australia will actually get in this game, and that just feels like a nice little tease to it. Like just one mythical.
Make it the
platypus.
Kangaroo, make it the platypus.
Mythical platypus Pokemon.
Yeah,
this whole conversation has inspired me to want to look into the myths and legends of Australia, so that you could have a grid for that too, because I haven't actually looked into it that much comparatively to the region that we're actually in. But it's like we said multiple times, Pokemon likes to pull from different places, even if we're in
honestly, Australia could be more involved than maybe we think, because I'm convinced at this point there's literally a painting in Hassel's art room of the big like rock formation in Australia. It's called Uluru, I believe.
Oh yeah,
and it's like it is distinctly that landmark. And since we're going to a region that's like it's right next to Australia, and Hassel also is from some kind of unknown region that we don't know about, and it kind of teases that because it like I can't remember where, but it mentions him like his family wants him to come back to the region that he's from.
Yeah.
All of that to me tells me that like that was a legitimate hint to Winds and Waves. And so if they're using Australia to hint to Winds and Waves, then Australia could play a little bit more of a role maybe than we're expecting.
Yeah, I could see it.
So, makes sense. I think we're gonna have to do eventually another one of these episodes talking about a bunch of other stuff.
I like how it was. This one was legendary themed though. Like all the legendaries. Mm-hmm. So
that was nice.
Love it.
Should we talk about the pseudo legendary? Does that count? Maybe just like honorable mention.
We could do that really quick. It's obviously most likely going to be a dragon type.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is where it gets fun. We've had 9 different pseudo legendaries at this point that have covered a lot of the different types. We've got flying, we've got ground, we've got dark, we've got fighting, we've got ghost. We've got like a lot of types covered at this point with the dragon type. Yeah. So I feel like if they're going to do dragon again, it can kind of be narrowed down a little bit in terms of what else it could be themed around, because like for instance, we've not got like any of the starter types really. We've not got electric. Those could be possible. That would be really cool.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have a lot of those elementals.
Yeah. And another way to look at it, and it probably doesn't like adhere as much at this point, but like back in the day, the pseudo legendary was kind of like the antithesis to the starter, because dragon resists all the starter types. So it would almost be cool if they like played with that a little bit, and maybe they give us a pseudo that is one of the starter types, because maybe it's like a Pokemon that people like to use here. And so it's kind of like an honorary starter or something. Like flip that on its head or something like that.
Interesting.
But
yeah, that's cool.
Basically there are more limited options in terms of the types of Pokemon they could go with. But I feel like a lot of them are like, they feel more unique. They feel original for a pseudo. So I feel like whatever we end up getting will be something like pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think we could see fairy type, like dragon fairy. We could see dragon bug.
Psychic, bug.
Yep.
Bug.
Dragon. No, you're right. Dragon psychic, dragon rock. Cause the other little thing is that like in Gens 2, we got Tyranitar as a pseudo, which is not dragon. And then in Gen 3, we actually had 2 pseudo legendaries, which is really weird. But again, I love that the theme kind of stays consistent, where like Salamence is like an ancient creature of Hoenn, but Metagross is it's like a comet. It crash landed. It's an alien from somewhere else.
They were still figuring it out.
Yeah. That's cool. And honestly, it wouldn't be a new generation without me hoping for some of these weirdo things to be introduced, right? Just like I want fossils to come back. I mean, why can't we have 2 pseudo legendaries? right?
Yeah.
Why
One
not?
thing that
It doesn't need to be a rule.
One thing that a lot of people really want is more pseudos that aren't dragons.
Yes.
So I want to pose the question to you guys: if you could get one pseudo that isn't a dragon type, what type would you want it to be?
Because it's got to be a good. You know what? It needs. I think the rule needs to be. It needs to be busted, but it needs to have a 4 times weakness.
Bug type.
Yeah, bug. Yeah,
I would love
Bug grass.
I would love a bug
Yeah.
because then it's gonna be like a Galissapod, Vikavolt type. Like that would be super cool.
Oh,
Maybe
man, a
fire?
3-stage bug type
Yeah.
pseudo legendary.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
That'd be so sick.
There's so many bugs in this region, like in this
I know.
country. Like, give it to me.
That'd be so good.
Yes.
Fire makes a lot of sense to me because, the original legendary Pokemon, Arcanine, is not really a pseudo legendary. It's not a legendary, but it's this beefy thing. It's fire type, and then Volcarona also always felt like a legend,
like a pseudo, but not.
Yeah, like a pseudo. It was like it's presented to you in the game as if it is this like powerful creature, and it is powerful, but that's a fire type, and it's not really a pseudo. I think that would have been cool. Yeah, fire. I don't even care about the fire type, but the fire does feel powerful. You know, sacred.
Yeah.
I think about rebirth. I think about like a phoenix, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So yeah,
How about-
bug fire. It's Volcarona.
What about you, Hoops?
I don't know.
I guess unless you want to go with bug fire with us.
I mean, I would love bug. That would be great, but I'm also thinking electric. Just
for this region specifically is what I was going to say.
electric. I mean, yeah, it go thematically like that could be the.
You said that
Pokemon
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the storm Pokemon we were talking about, and then also, it's just a type that has not been used by either the dragon pseudos or the non-dragon pseudos. It's also a type that can be tough. Like you can picture it pretty easily. So that's one I would enjoy. But
I like that.
Bug or fire would also be great.
Yeah. I'll just say the last thing for a pseudo legendary. There has been a little bit of some leaks.
Oh no, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Has there been? I haven't.
Yeah, a little. Not exactly on the pseudo, but it's highly likely that the pseudo legendary could be a Komodo dragon. So we could be looking at dragon poison. There's been a leak about there being a Komodo dragon in the game.
That sounds good to me.
It's like one of the last or the strongest, I should say, like bosses, like boss Pokemon of the region.
Cool. That is
so it feels like a pseudo legendary.
Yeah.
So I think that's highly, and that maybe not highly, but it's more probable than other ideas. Let's say,
bro,
poison would be cool.
Dragon fire Komodo dragon. Well,
I mean, it could
be poison, but yeah,
it could be though. It could be.
Dragon
actually,
water.
I think the leak is specifically a dragon poison type.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would have to be that.
And so it's specifically that there's gonna be a dragon poison type.
That is
Komodo
a boss
dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're just that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, that is true. Baxcalibur breaking the ice, making it setting the precedence that like
pun not intended.
Yeah, that we can get like an elemental dragon type pseudo is kind of sick.
Well,
it's kind of what you were saying, Hoops.
Yeah, and it also like let's assume for a minute that that's what we get. Obviously, 3-stage dragon poison type. That's really cool, but that doesn't tell the whole story either. And that's kind of what's interesting about that concept. Because if you look at Baxcalibur, he's got a whole sword in the stone motif. If you look at Dragapult, got this like literally like a catapult, like airplane fighter jet type of motif. So like,
and it's a fossil kind of Pokemon.
On top of it just being a Komodo dragon, it could do a million different things, especially with like, the poison type.
Yeah.
So that would be
like, what if they turn it into like a basilisk where it can like walk on water? Soul's gonna die.
See,
that's like his
no,
favorite.
that would be that's actually something that I would love because we've seen certain Pokemon that are like they're a type, but then they also have this like kind of unique relationship with another type that they aren't. Like one that comes to mind is Heliolisk. Heliolisk is normal electric, but it's like sun themed, so it's got all this like fire type energy. So something like that where it's like it's dragon poison, but it's connected to the water or the fire or whatever. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's true. And how Gudra was like, it's so weird to see these also. I know this is just like our Pokemon brains being frustrated that like not all things connect, but it's like, yeah, why isn't Gudra water type?
You
Dragon
should be water.
It's all good.
I mean, in the
honestly,
same way,
because Dragon
Dratini-
Water is it's so good.
Yeah.
It's like such a great type.
Growing up, I always thought it should be poison type because of the goo.
Yeah, that's also fair.
So that would be
makes
another
sense.
reason why Dragon Poison would be cool for me personally.
Well, that's fair.
It's a possibility.
So
Anyway,
Dude, honestly, a Komodo dragon really does just seem perfect. Like that should be what
the
it
thing is, we kind of have Komo, which is kind of a Komodo dragon.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's like, I don't know, maybe it might just be another Pokemon. It might not be the pseudo. So
if I got to think outside the box, right? I'm like, hey, why can't we get 2 pseudos like in Gen 3, and maybe we get a brand new pseudo, and then we get a regional pseudo, which we already got it. We've seen that with the Hisui and Gudra. Maybe we get a regional Komodo. That'd be kind of sick. That's actually not even crazy because we got the regional, and so that allows us to have 2. That's so sick, dude. And you know what, dude? Jangmo-O already is on all 4s walking around. It would just evolve to just stay on all 4s. It would evolve to be more like a Komodo dragon, unless it's going to stand up no matter what. Because I do think actually a lot of the pseudos, the only pseudo that is not bipedal is Salamence.
I guess Metagross too.
Metagross.
Oh, sure. I was thinking of the dragons, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a spider. Yeah, dude, interesting. That's kind of cool. That's fun.
Yeah,
it's super fun. Oh my gosh, yeah, and that is how Gumi evolves into a Hisui and Sliggoo, and then evolves into Hisui and Gudra. Jangmo-O could evolve into, Genteni and Hakamo-O, and then. I honestly, I'm making a lock. That's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. That could happen.
Everyone wants 2 pseudos, so
I'm just like, why do we have to limit it to 1? Because here's the other thing I was going to bring up. We kind of did get 2 pseudos in Gen 9 with Archaludon.
Yeah,
it's not technically a pseudo. Who cares? But it is a non-legendary Pokemon that has 600 base stat total. Archaludon evolved into, or what is it? Duraludon got a new evolution in the Blueberry Academy with Archaludon, giving it 600 BST, which makes it as powerful as a pseudo, which is literally the only thing that matters, I think.
That used to be the qualifier, but we're getting closer and closer to getting things actually defined, because the Pokemon Company officially named these Pokemon something, and I forget what it is. But
like in the code, or just
like in their socials and everything, they'll mention them as something specific.
I think I remember seeing
it's right here. It's right here.
Power something. Power Pokemon.
This artwork is from the Late Bloomers collection.
No, that ain't it, but that's funny.
Is that not it?
No,
you got these little babies that are so tough to train, and then they get super powerful.
They made an actual social media post about it. I do remember. But I can't.
No, yeah, dude. The pseudo legendary Pokemon were featured.
Powerhouse Pokemon. There it is. Yeah.
In the Late Bloomers, which is Japanese, and the Powerhouse collection.
Powerhouse Pokemon.
Powerhouse Pokemon collection of Pokemon Center merchandise. Yeah, so that's the Japanese is Late Bloomers.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because the reason, I mean, we don't have to go into this too much, but the reason that we just call them pseudos for whatever reason, it's a fan term. But the main thing is that they have 600 BST, and
which is legendary strength,
which is over 600 BST. So that's they officially named it whatever, Late Bloomers Powerhouse Pokemon.
Dude, Late Bloomers is so funny.
It is funny.
So good.
But it makes sense because they're later in the game and they're really strong, so it kind of adds up. But anyway, is Archaludon one of them?
Shout out to all you Late Bloomers listening right now. I if you had a glow up, or if you're still waiting on your glow up, leave a comment. Make yourself seen. That's so funny. Late Bloomers, dude. It's crazy that that these pseudo legendaries are even more powerful than some legendary Pokemon. Like if we look at you know what, the this is what's crazy. Those 600 BST. That is the same. That is the BST, the base stat total of mythical Pokemon. Mythical Pokemon have 600 base stat total.
Yeah, exactly.
Legendaries can be even weaker, like
Mm-hmm.
like the birds and the Reggies, like they all are under 600, which is kind of nuts.
I'm just waiting for the day where they are like, they put Archaludon in some form of media along with the powerhouse Pokemon.
No, 100%.
I need it to happen because I think he's one of them. Just
dude, I think we're gonna have a big Pokedex. I'm really, really excited for Gen 10. Have you guys? I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
The year's kind of flying by. I am excited to get another trailer. I really am. I want to learn. I think I just want to learn more about the region. You know,
I feel like I personally don't think it's that likely that we'll get another trailer this year, but because there's like we don't know when in 2027 it's going to come out. It could come out earlier in the year depending on what else Nintendo has to release. I could actually see a scenario where maybe in the fall sometime, like September, because Nintendo always does stuff in September, we could maybe get a trailer, and that's like the intent of that would be to like get people hyped up for Winds and Waves prior to the holiday season, so they buy a Switch during the holiday season for Winds and Waves, like the following year.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I'm pumped. Let us know what legendary Pokemon you want to see in this new game. If you have any ideas, let us know. I think we're excited to read your comments and then maybe bring some of those to light in a future episode. If you're new, subscribe. We appreciate you guys being here. If you've stuck around this far into the episode, I mean, you're a real one. And we got plenty more Generation 10 coverage coming up in the future, but also in the back catalog. Go check that out. And if you want even more content, and maybe you're disappointed that we're ending the episode right now because you can hear it in my tone, it doesn't need to be over. We have so much. We have honestly over 100 videos, live streams, bonus podcasts available right now. For you can unlock all of it for $5 a month. Links are in the description right here on YouTube or on Patreon. We love you guys so much, and just thank you for all the support. This has been a really great year. Let us know what you think about legendary Pokemon in Gen 10, and we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.